why don't we start the meeting? I know Scott is present. We're gonna waive the pledge because Scott, you're in the car. I don't want you standing up while you're driving. And I don't see any members of the public here. Yeah. I'm not gonna, my only comments are on the June 25th gathering that we're having. Scott, you're pretty good at this stuff. If you know of any food trucks that want to participate, we're looking for food trucks. So,
okay.
if you know of anybody who wants to participate, either crafts or, you know, we're working on it pretty hard, but, where are you right now, by the way?
I'm in New Jersey now, moving on up.
All right. Scott, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of May 9th.
I'll second that.
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
Yep, I gotcha. All right. So the first item on the agenda is discussion and possible action on a referral to the Board of Finance concerning a request for proposal response for 2023 strategic plan focus for Mariners Way. I'm Jennifer Donahue's in the room. Keep your voice up so Scott can hear you. Scott, it's just you and I. Matt is not here. So Jennifer, actually, I'm gonna make a motion that we move the financing request for this proposal to the Board of Finance. Is there a second?
I second that.
Okay. Jennifer, you want to discuss this?
Sure. The Mariners Way study was initially done almost 10 years ago, and then the plan that was made after the study was 6 years old. And so in light of economic changes related to COVID, also the addition of a TIF district in that area and the focus on TOD and the financing available for that now, we decided that it might be a good idea to update all of that information for that area. So phase one of the RFP asked for a market analysis, an economic opportunity study, and that would also include stakeholder input and education and consensus building. And that includes internal education and consensus building of boards and committees, and also external for existing businesses in that area. And then all of that information would go into a final report and recommendations, and then move on potentially to a phase two, where there would be design of marketing materials to help encourage the town's desired redevelopment in that area, and crafting a strategy and steps to achieving those development goals, including encouragement of public and private investment. 5 applicants submitted proposals, and a 5-person subcommittee using a matrix rated them all, and we did select a vendor who we would like to work with. And so the original timeline was May 15th to around November. We'll probably be pushed a little farther on that, but that's the basic nutshell.
So Scott, as you know, the committee that looked at the RFPs was Bruce Carlson, Matt Pugliese, Jennifer, Chris Costa, and I participated. I sat in, and it was a good discussion. It actually, I'd say it probably came down to 2 of the choices. two of them of the five. And, and Camoin was chosen. Look, I mean, Mariners Way is what it is, and it's privately owned mostly, or almost all of it is. And we're gonna try to do something with it, and it's, the funding request is for, what's the number, Jennifer?
86,000.
86,000. Scott, as you may or may not know, I mean, we're looking at a rather large surplus this year. I think you do know that.
I'm aware, yes.
So if we approve this before the end of the fiscal year, it'll, just reduce the surplus. And if the Board of Finance wants to do it from surplus, then we're looking later. But either way, I think the town is financially able to support this proposal. I know Matt is supportive of it. Anything, it's a drop in the bucket. If for 86,000, if we were to move the needle forward on any properties out there, one or two, it would be worth every penny of it. So, I'm in favor of it. Scott, do you have any questions? I don't know what you know about this or what you might have
I'm
questions.
familiar with Mariners Way. I was part of that whole process many years ago with, I think, Parks and Recreation when I started with it then. So, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Scott?
I'm in favor.
Okay, all right, that's an aye. I'll say aye. That passes 2-0. Thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you, Jennifer.
So the second request is, we had a number of retirements this year, so we're on our retiree health insurance, which is about $250,000 item in our budget. We're about $30,000 short this year. So Leanne, to prevent this from going over budget, was gonna seek a motion to add $30,000 to this year's budget. The Board of Finance already basically approved it at their last meeting. So I didn't have time to put this on a town meeting. It's gonna be another town meeting that we're going to have at a later date, but why don't we just do a discussion and possible action to call a town meeting for the purpose of appropriating $30,000 to FY23 budget line item, retiree health insurance. And then what I'll do, if we have another item for a town meeting before the end of the year, I'll call a town meeting. We'll just have to approve the call maybe at our next meeting. I'll choose a date, okay?
Okay.
So, I'll make a motion to approve item B. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Yep.
All those in favor?
I'm in
Aye.
favor.
Okay,
Aye.
thank you. Item number C, which is an up-to-date salary information of mayors and first selectmen. I did not solicit, I did solicit this information, but I did it at the request of, Pat Pugliese. So we're not gonna discuss this. We're gonna, table this until the next meeting. So I'll move to table item C. Is there a second?
I'll second it. Yes, second.
Aye, Scott, you're in favor. Okay. So item C is the supervisor's contract, which we agreed to. Good news. There's not a lot of changes in this contract. They go to $2,500 for a single 5,000 deductible during the life of this contract. The wages are 2.5% every year during the life of the contract, which I also think is good for them. Yeah, good for them, good for the town. In fact, I think if you were to look at the averages, they're probably a little bit higher than that, but Why, it was good for both parties in that, I basically rolled the contract. We didn't ask for a lot of changes. We didn't ask for less sick time. We didn't ask for less, there wasn't a lot of places to go on the health savings accounts. Their premium cost contributions go up to 15% during the life of the contract. So there were not a lot of changes. It was basically wages, some minor changes to health insurance. One other actually key thing on the health insurance is we were able to get pre-authorization for physical therapy, occupational therapy, and speech therapy, I believe. And also, we were able to put these folks into the Anthem formulary when it comes to prescription drugs. And that does yield a savings. All those things do yield savings, because it allows the town and Anthem to choose a generic brand over a name brand and save money under the plan, because we all know that, prescription drug costs are the ones that are really driving the cost of insurance. So really, those were some of the changes.
I did read through it, so I'm familiar with the, everything that was written in there, so I did read through it.
Yeah. And again, it's a small union. They did ask for some things that were not agreed upon. Other than some changes in the health insurance and wages, the contract was basically rolled over. Maybe there were a few other changes in there, so. So I'm gonna, Scott, if you don't have any further questions on that, I'm gonna move ratification of the supervisor's contract, AFSCME Local 818 of Council 4. Once it is signed, it'll be available in the town clerk's office as a public document. So is there a second to that?
I second that, yes.
And all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, very good, thank you. All right, so item number E is appointments. Let's just start with the Economic Development Commission, moving Nick Norman Prevost Jr. Reappointment as a regular member. He's also chairman of the Planning Commission. Is there a second?
I second that.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Reappointment of Casey Costello Hand, who is also on the ARPA committee, to the Economic Development Commission. I'll second that.
Second.
Yeah, I'll make the motion. I'm sorry. You seconded it. All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right. And lastly, on the zoning commission, appointment to the, as a resignation or vacancy of an alternate member. This appointment is only valid through the election in November of 2023. Because alternates are subsequently appointed at the annual town meeting. Brenda Dyson, who's previously served on the Zoning Board of Appeals, is willing to serve as an alternate on the Zoning Commission. She's no longer serving on the Zoning Board of Appeals. So Brenda's been an excellent volunteer. She's a super nice lady. As is Casey Costello Hand, and Nick Prevost is a great guy too. So good to have these people involved. So I'll move Brenda Dyson as an alternate to the Zoning Commission. Is there a second?
I second that.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, hold on 1 second, Scott. I have one more.
Okay.
And I can't find the name Let me just see if I can find something. Hold on. Let's see.
Uh-oh. I think I lost it.
No, you didn't. You didn't
Hello?
lose me.
Okay, all right, good.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I'm looking for an email. Okay, so there's a woman named Lori Pavlov, Pavlov, who.
I know her.
Oh, you do?
Yes.
She's been recommended by the chairman of the Conservation Commission to be appointed to that commission.
Well, yeah, from what I know, she's a very sharp individual, and I would support her candidacy.
All right, so you'll make that motion, I'll second it. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, at this point, we will suspend the meeting